So welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we actually going to get into this Irish woman, right? She talks about, I seen this on TikTok. I got it on screen share, so let me make sure it's popping up. But she says some interesting things that I've actually been saying for a while on here, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see what just to see how everybody's this movie Sinners just dropped and to see how everybody's been reacting to it. The cultural boiling pot of America and history, and just seeing people coming out and speaking truths that I've been saying for a while, specifically even on this channel. It's making me smile, right? So, with that being said, we're smoking all my dragons, divine, righteous, almighty, great, overachieving, never slacking, and we about to listen to an Irish dragon in here. What she got to say? Here we go.
The video specifically. If you are Irish
Hold on,
American,
hold on.
you are proud to be Irish American. If you are, go watch Sinners. That's the video specifically. If you are Irish American, you are proud to be Irish American. You've not let that go. You're not just a normal white. You need to go watch Sinners. Irish people should have had black people's backs. We sold them out for whiteness. If you're Irish American, you are a people displaced by genocide. Forgotten it. You've forgotten that it was the white Anglo-Saxons that took our language, took our names. It's so inspiring as an artist. What do you mean they filmed it April last year? What do you mean? And it's already out. Production, quick. They knew what they were about to do and they just got to work and they fucking did. Oh my god. But you can't be the only Irish American who has family that when you talk about Black Lives Matter, you talk about racial equality, they come back with, well, the Irish were slaves too. You don't see us moaning about it. We got over it. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Not over it because you keep fucking bringing it up. You look at African American vernacular, it has the same grammar as Irish. Do you know why that is? Some fucking work to do now. Thanks. Thank you, Brian, and the whole cast and everybody in the crew. Thank you. Now I gotta go make some goddamn art.
Her
Go watch
name.
Sinners. That's the video.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Her name is Diane Cathell. Diane Cathell comedy on TikTok, and she just written a lot of things that, like I said, things that I've been saying for a while. If you go on my channel and you even, it's so crazy to see myself. That's awesome. Hey guys, but if you go on my channel and you look up, like I talk about the potato famine, I react to different Celtic music. Like I've always felt a certain connection to Ireland. Why? I don't really know. Maybe I was Irish in one of my past lives. Who knows? But I always say when I'm able to go over to the UK and then I know there's the Republic of Ireland. So I know there's that split between North and South. But when I'm able to go over to the Ireland, the UK period, but Ireland, whether North or South, and I'm able to just go to one of those cliffs and just see it and like I feel like I feel like I made it in life. I love it's just something about it that I can't explain. So the fact that she dived deeper into history. If you haven't seen the movie Sinners, definitely go check it out. Amazing movie. I loved it. My favorite movie of the year, and it could possibly be movie of the decade. I mean, it's really really great. Seen it a few times now, and people clapping in them theaters. I'll tell you that much. But this Irish vampire, and this isn't really going to be a spoil. This isn't going to be a spoiler alert, but I'm gonna just say, um, this Irish vampire, he does this dance, which you can see in the trailer, and it's the Irish River dance, and he speaks about there's certain parts where he speaks about pretty much he went through a certain type of oppression to where he had this understanding for um, so-called Black Americans because he went through similar oppression, getting his just getting his land stolen and things like that. This is stuff I gotta keep saying that I've been talking about for a while. Um, when you look at Irish history and you look at the indentured servants that came over here, a lot of them had to be on plantations with different so-called black slaves. So when being whether it be in the Caribbeans and some even and it just in like what was it, Virginia, where that rebellion happened, something called Bacon's Rebellion, where Scottish and Irish indentured servants African or so-called African or black slaves, they rebelled together, and who they tore it up. They tore it up. That's called Bacon's Rebellion. That happened in history. But there was a lot that happened to make sure that we as a people always stayed divided. So when she says Irish sold out for whiteness, it's like once once they started to be able to fit in. Like for example, when you had what happened in Chicago, you had those riots, racial riots, where um, you know, a lot of Irish versus so-called Black Americans, and that's how the Ku Klux Klan. A lot of them were able to really recruit the Irish because it was like everything got turned into it's their fault, it's them, it's black people, it's so like they're the competition, and a lot of Irish people had no business being in the Ku Klux Klan. They had no business riding with that because those are the same people that was oppressing, that oppressed them, from the Anglo Saxons and like potato famine and like but that illusion of seclusion kicked in, and they even started oppressing like Sicilians because Sicilians was considered black at a certain point in time. They definitely wasn't considered white. So, um, and then eventually Sicilians was able to, you know, um, get in the club in a sense, and this great American club. And even so-called Black Americans was able to, but you can't be of culture. You can't really be. It's always like has to be an agenda behind things. It's like when you go to a certain job, you gotta go in under certain rules and regulations, right? So to even rise in certain worlds, it's like you're under certain rules and regulations. If y'all get what I'm saying, but there was a lot of togetherness that isn't taught in history, and a lot of so-called Black Americans, like they were, or not a lot, but everybody was treated as it's like that's the enemy now. It's like all this racial tension, all this manipulation, all this. It's like we all faced struggles, and that's what Sinner shows. Like we all faced these struggles, these and we have a lot of similarities, even though we could be so different. So just seeing that, it's it was amazing. Even today when I see though, like when you look at like say racist gangs, right, or gangs that are like known for being racist, you'll see people in there who rep in Ireland and got shamrocks, and I was like, y'all really don't got no business being in that. But if you really want to look at history, how y'all was treated, but that's the great American game, the great American game. So this is why when a lot of people say America was never great, they're saying in the sense of you know um, just the historical violence and hatred towards each other. People getting skinned, people getting burned, people getting you know chopped up, and I mean just it's been an ugly history, a very very ugly history in the making of America, that a lot of people do like to ignore, and that's the truth. That's the truth. I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat it. I've reacted to a lot of different, music, like specifically, like say country rap, and where people, glorify being so-called white, and I did my best to even within that try to like tell that audience like, look, the white black thing. That's a lot of how they divide us. Like seriously, and I don't. It worked to a degree, but it's like people want to keep pushing narratives. People want to keep feeling like they belong to something instead of just acknowledging the truth. Like we all may be different, but we all have faced different oppression. We all have had our traditional, a lot of our traditional culture stripped through torture, through just all types of oppression, man. Reprogrammed and forced upon us, and that's what I see as we move forward in the world. That's what I see more and more people waking up to. Um, More and more people waking up. There was stuff in there about the Asians, which that Asians are going in about, which I'm gonna react to that too. That'll be my next one about the Asians, because there was a Chinese woman in there, and there's a lot to be said about that. So, but shout out to Ireland. I like I said, you go throughout my page, you're gonna see me react to the different Irish. Just for a while back, I've been reacting to Irish music. Like I'm talking about them Irish harps, and like I love that. Like it does something to my spirit. It's spiritually healing for me, and that's what I love. Now I believe if I was to go to Ireland, to the real people of Ireland, I believe I would be it would be more of a connection than say, an American just go get drunk on St. Patrick's Day type of Irish person. Like even though like one of my best friends, he's Irish. That's my boy Tim McMullen, and we he always says to me personally, he'll be like, "Dang, you teach me a lot about my history." It's just so much that's just been taken away, and once again getting caught up in the distractions of this great American game, and that's how so many people are manipulated into these different hate groups, where because they get manipulated. Once you feel like something is taken from you, or you feel like you're getting the bad end of the stick, it's easy for somebody who's a good talker to come in and relate to you off of your pain and then drag you into something that really isn't beneficial to your spirit. But if you have a weak mind, you're gonna fall for that. You're gonna think, okay, you know what? These N words are getting all the jobs, or these N words are getting all, they're getting treated. We go through things and we're not acknowledged. Now all of a sudden you're wearing a Ku Klux Klan outfit and running around and becoming everything you hate, catching Stockholm syndrome, going against everybody but your actual oppressor. So that's what's been happening throughout history in America. That's what's been happening. And a lot of people still like to ignore that. But it's still in your genetic memory. It's still in you. You know what I'm saying? That pain, that trauma that your people faced. No matter how much you try to act like, well, I worked my way up in America, that trauma's still in there. And it's going to take us coming together as a people to even be able to heal that. It's going to take some serious unity. It's going to take some serious understanding, right? So I'm very, very grateful for this movie dropping. I'm very grateful for all my peoples that's speaking on this, whether you Irish, Asian, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy that people are coming together. I'm happy that people are talking about history, because that's true American history. True American history is, yeah, there was times where, because for example, there's a lot of so-called white people that do not get their credit for helping out with when it comes to helping, slaves, free slaves, and helping sneak them here and there. You notice you never really hear their names like that. You really see too much, So it's like I feel like that's because a division. It's because people want everybody to look at each other like a certain way, right? And just well, and just so it's easy to manipulate. So it's easy to manipulate, right? To whatever to your benefit, whatever that may be. And not everybody has a good agenda, you know. So with that being said, original link in the description. Definitely looking forward to the comments. Hopefully this gets out there in the algorithm. And I will be back with more soon. Much love to you all. If you enjoy this, definitely don't hesitate to hit that like, that subscribe, that notification bell. Much love.